Hey folks, it's Florida Deere. Thanks for joining me today. And let me explain why I have a naked tractor in front of me. Okay? There's a reason. I'm getting somewhere with this. You don't normally see tractors like this. But I wanted to go over 4 items about this tractor and others of why you might be willing to pay $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 for a 15, 20, or 25-year-old tractor. Seems crazy that you would pay, as much or maybe even a little bit more for a 25-year-old tractor than for a tractor that you could go to a big box store and pick up for, $2,000, maybe even less. So I will try to explain that in this video and hopefully clear up some things. If you do find this video helpful, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos about John Deere garden tractors and the 1 Series tractors, you can hit the subscribe button as well. Okay, so point number 1 is the engine. While this is only a single cylinder 17 horsepower Kawasaki engine, it is a Kawasaki engine. And what I mean by that is most of the big box stores, most of the engines in those tractors are going to be Briggs & Strattons, or sometimes they're Kohlers, but they're rarely, if ever, Kawasaki's. Kawasaki's are more of your industrial or commercial grade engines. This one's a full pressure lube, which most of them are full pressure lube, cast iron block, electronic ignition. Most of those things are pretty standard, but this one has 975 hours on it and runs just fine. Obviously, some love and care helps with that. This one is actually a 537cc single cylinder 17 horse. And a lot of the Kawasaki's came as twin cylinders. They upgraded this one a year or two after this to a twin cylinder that's actually slightly smaller, oddly enough. And the Kawasaki's are known for their smoothness and their durability. That's kind of point 1 in why you would get a tractor that's like this. So point number 2, why you might pay extra for a tractor like this, is the transaxle or the transmission that comes with the tractor. Most of the time in one of the other ones, you're going to get a Tough Torque K46, maybe a K58, in one of the sort of lawn tractors that you might get from, say Home Depot or Lowe's. And those, while they're not terrible transmissions, they're not as heavy duty as the one that you're looking at right here. This is a K71A, because it's a 325 or a 300 series that comes with equipped with the ability to have a cylinder mounted for the hydraulic lift on the deck. But the GT series doesn't have that. GXs do, GTs do not. I'll kind of explain that at the end as well. And so this one's just going to be a little bit tougher for ground engagement, heavier duty snow blowing, use on, rougher terrain, steeper hills. One of the things that's sort of a giveaway is the 5-lug automotive style hubs that they have. The transmission is very heavy, it's bulky. It has the fan on top to keep it cool. It does have 2 filters on it, one inside and then one that's exposed. You can see the green filter there. So they last a long time if you care for them. Again, this one's 25 years old, 975 hours on it. It has held up pretty good. In addition to a beefier rear axle, you also get a beefier front axle. These are cast iron, pretty heavy, pretty substantial, greasable units. Also, the spindles on them are bigger and a little bit stouter than you would see on the big box store ones, greasable. Again, these have held up 25 years. A lot of time, but they're beefy as well. Point number 3 is a frame that's 7 to 8 inches deep in the back, all the way up to midsection, and then it gets a little bit thinner where the engine goes. But as you can see, this is as well as being, you know, wide or deep, it's also pretty thick material, as you can see there. It's not something you're going to bend easily, certainly not break. Gives you an idea of the thickness here. It is really thick material. And as you can see, it's in pretty good shape. Again, this is 25 years old. And this one's obviously been, you know, cared for to a certain extent, for sure, to have this much, you know, be in this kind of good shape. It's, you know, a little bit dirty, but it's a tractor, you know, so I mean, it's not a big deal. And, you know, they have this brace plate here with some of the attachments for the deck, and the hydraulic lines right here for, that's your hydraulic lever to raise and lower the deck. So, but anyways, very thick frames, heavy duty, built to last. And point number 4 would be heavier duty decks. So a lot of the big box store ones might come with a 42, 46, 48, 54 inch deck. These come with pretty much similar size decks, but these are going to be thicker material. The gauge wheels might be a little beefier. There might actually be more gauge wheels. Springs are probably a little more heavy duty. The spindles are definitely higher quality. They have design features where you can slip these things out. And remember this was about 2 decades old. This deck's a little newer than the tractor. So these pull out so you can slide the wheel sideways and roll the deck out. It's a very heavy deck. I want to say 100 and something or other pounds. I'll go ahead and try to track that down and put that in the video for you. I can guarantee the big box stores don't have decks on the tractors that are this beefy. So we did, this deck shell was good, but I did have to replace the spindles on this one. And they were quite pricey as well, but they're high quality, made in the USA spindles. So, you know, I guess if you want quality, you're gonna have to, you know, pay money for quality. Which kind of wraps up this video. I'll kind of get into some of the tractors that I might recommend that would fit this category of buying, you know, higher quality, beefier garden tractors that John Deere made back in the day. And, you know, maybe I won't necessarily put the ones that I wouldn't recommend. So, you know, just you guys can deduce that from the ones I recommend to, as opposed to the ones I'm just not mentioning. So we'll just kind of keep it on a positive note, I guess. So if you like this video, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. And if you found it useful and you wanted to see more videos like this, you can hit the subscribe button as well. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good night.